there, this is Billy Earl here on Delmarvalous, Americana. You can find us on Pac 14 in beautiful downtown Salisbury, Maryland, as well as Delmarvalous Americana on YouTube. We are also available on NPR on WSDL 90.7. This show takes a look at those people who live and breathe and eat art and music. Make sure and go to Delmarvalous Americana House Concerts on Facebook for a schedule of those live music shows here in Salisbury, Maryland. Enjoy, adios, and namaste. We're here, and Jacob Paul Allen is our guest tonight. He is a musician from the Washington area, and we are thrilled to have him here. Jacob Paul Allen, Mr. Bojack, thank you for joining us.
Hey, pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
Oh, believe me, our pleasure. Short story about how we came together. My daughter took her kids to I guess a retreat in suburban Virginia, and you were kind enough to be playing for them, and my daughter was just blown away. And so she wrote me an email and said, "Daddy, you've got to have this guy on your show."
Well, I'm very glad she did. It was
she's your biggest fan at this point, and the kids too. They're tired of listening to Grandpa squeak and squall. Anyway, what I'd like to do is start off talking a little bit about your musical journey, how you got to where we are here. Can you shed a little light on that for us?
Sure, I would love to. I have a lot of friends and other fellow musicians whose journey started off at a very young age. And I guess mine did too, with an influence. My grandmother was a huge Elvis fan. And so growing up as a kid, I watched all the Elvis movies. I think I must have watched them all 1,000 times, it seems like. I don't know if it was just I was that addicted, or if that was the only way she could keep me entertained. I don't know, but it worked. And so she would tell stories about me getting out on the back porch with a broomstick and shaking my legs all around and pretending like I was Elvis. So I was influenced at an early age, but I really didn't.
Okay, let me stop you. Your image is shaking. Is the camera on a table that's moving?
Yeah, it's possible. All right, let me move this around a little bit and try to get it. Okay, there we go. I think, yeah.
Okay.
I got it. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay, cut and start again. We have the pleasure tonight of having Jacob Paul Allen, JPA Bojack, here on the show. We are thrilled to have him. We'd like to know how you got started in music. Can you shed some light on that for us?
Certainly can. Like a lot of folks, had an early inspiration musically. My grandmother was a huge Elvis fan, and I remember as a kid she had all of his movies, and so I watched them all 1,000 times. It was a great babysitting method for my grandmother to put me in front of an Elvis movie. She could keep me quiet as long as Elvis was on the TV. So I imagine that's where I got an early influence musically, because to my knowledge, at that point, no one else in the family was doing music, or anything like that. I didn't grow up with people in the house playing instruments. It wasn't until much later in life, really, that I got in and dove in, head over heels or whatever, feet first, head first, whatever you want to call it. I was a senior in college, and I'd always been kind of intrigued by learning how to play guitar. But, growing up in a small town, rural Virginia, sports and women were more important than playing a guitar. So senior year of college, I had time off. I was given a loaner guitar, and a friend of mine taught me a few chords, and I think myself and anyone that knew me thought that's about as far as it would go. But one thing led to another, and an open mic here and an open mic there, and next thing you know, I got a $50 paying gig, and after the first time I got paid to play music, it was pretty much downhill from there.
That's a defining moment in many people's life and their career.
Yeah, it was a light bulb.
Let's do this. Let's play a couple of songs that are yours. Let's cue up Mean and Cruel and Rest of My Life. And let's listen to these. And when we come back, this is Billy Earl on Delmarvalous Americana, WSDL 90.7. You can also find us on YouTube, and you can find us on PAC 14 and ECTV out of Easton, Maryland. Let's go ahead and listen to these, and we'll be back shortly.
As a Charlotte bowl of piss and vinegar. Yeah, she's full, she got a mean right hook and a booty, baby got a shotgun, knows how to shoot it. I got a woman mean and cruel. I got a woman that's mean and cruel. I got me a woman that's mean and cruel, and I don't know what I'm gonna do. Too damn good. I got a woman mean and cruel. I got a woman that's mean and cruel. Got me a woman that's mean and cruel, and I don't know what I'm gonna do. Yeah, I got a woman mean and cruel. I got a woman that's mean and cruel. I got me a woman that's mean and cruel, and I don't know what I'm gonna do. Shining like a star tonight, got me praying that the morning light stays away long enough, gives me time to make you fall in love. Oh, it's plain to see that you don't wanna dance, but take my hand, give me a chance. Maybe I could help with what you came to forget. I got no guarantees, but I've been willing to bet. I wanna hold on to you, girl, just one dance before this moment's gone. I wanna hold on to you, girl, hold on to you for just one song. I never asked why you're here alone, or if you had somebody waiting at home. The answer seems so crystal clear. Now it's last call, how about one more beer? I wanna hold on to you, girl, can't be wrong when it feels so right. I wanna hold on to you, girl, hold on to you for the rest of the night, for the rest of the night. Baby, I had a crazy dream last night, all about when we met, begging you to dance till you said yes. And then we stayed in that bar till they threw us out. Oh, who would have thought we'd be here now? But you stayed by my side through the thick and thin. Now I got this ring and I'm praying you'll say yes again. I wanna hold on to you, girl. You're the one for me. Won't you be my wife? I wanna hold on to you, girl. Hold on to you for the rest of my life. Come on, baby, I wanna hold you for the rest of my life. Well, don't you know that I wanna hold you for the rest of my life? Well, I can't lie, I need you by my side for the rest of my life.
Okay, we've had a chance to listen to these two tunes. Tell me what the history of these songs is.
So Mean and Cruel, that's one of those songs that, there's this funny stories of songwriters over the years. Take Waylon Jennings, for example. I saw an interview with him one time, and he said he wished he'd never written Lukenbach, Texas, because every time after playing it for years and years and years and years, that's like the song. He's like, you got to be careful what you write, because you got to know you want to play it for the rest of your life.
You know something, Ray Wiley Hubbard tells the same story about Up Against the Wall, Redneck Mother.
Exactly. It's one of those songs. And it was just, when I wrote it, it was just a meaningless song about nothing. I was playing a little bluegrass style music at the time. And I just wrote it. Like I said, this song it happened in 5 minutes or less, just fell right out. And the main reason it started was because I bought a kazoo at a music store down in Johnson City, Tennessee. My buddy played harmonica, so I wanted to fit in, and have something else. So he would wear the headgear with the harmonica, and I would wear the headgear with the kazoo. And I wrote this song just so I could have a kazoo solo in my song. Well, as life would have it, and you go on with the song, I started to elaborate on how the story came about and how the song came about, and kind of made up my own thing about it. And I always tell people it's the greatest love song I've ever written. And it was inspired by an best friend's ex-girlfriend, and so on and so forth. And that usually gets a little bit of a laugh, and people kind of perk up saying, okay, what's this song about?
Oh yeah, that's got elements of intrigue from the get-go.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
How about Rest of My Life?
Yeah, For the Rest of My Life, that's that was the first song I was inspired by and started to write about. My girlfriend at the time, my current wife. And it was just a kind of a reflecting moment for me, just to think back and about how we met and things like that, and how other couples meet, and the stories you hear about, you take a chance and try to drop a smooth line on somebody and hope they fall for it, or hope they take the dance, or if you're asking to dance or something like that. And, you're really just kind of hoping that you can hit it off. And then once you start to hit it off, you really kind of hope that night doesn't end very soon, so you can do everything in your bag of tricks to kind of knock them off their feet, and sweep them away, and
there you go,
make them fall in love. And that's just kind of what the story's about. And it's more about me reflecting in a dream, and then that dream leading into me proposing the next day. And it was just, our meeting didn't happen exactly like the song goes, but it just paints a picture of those steps, and reflecting on that, and how couples fall in love, and, taking that chance on each other.
There you go. Where are you from?
I am from Nelson County, Virginia. A little tiny town tucked out in the Blue Ridge Mountains, just east of the Blue Ridge Mountains.
It's beautiful country out there, isn't it?
It really is. It's a lot of folks call it God's country out here, and I just call it home. I'm very thankful to call it home.
I understand there's a bookstore out there that had an open mic. Yes,
there is. And they still do. They've kicked it back off. But Rapunzel's Coffee and Books. It's a great little place. It's the building has been many things over the years. I think a packing shed or a cold storage of some sort at one time, maybe. And then it was a movie store, rental place, when they actually had VCRs and VCRs.
I remember those days.
Yeah, those. it was a big movie store, and then turned into just a bookstore for a long time, and then that evolved into a music venue and a little listening room, and it's just it became a great place for poets and writers and local musicians to go and share their craft, and became a very supportive place for people to share their stuff. And when I came out of college and started playing music, I was quickly put in their direction for open mics to go try out my songs and things like that, and hone my craft. And it was an invaluable recommendation. I got over there and played some songs, and Joe Madison, the guy that ran it at the time, everyone that took guitar in my hometown lessons knew Joe Madison. He was the guy to go to, and he was the single most important piece of advice he gave me, and anyone's given me musically in my career. After playing a couple songs of mine at open mics, he said, you got some really good writing skills that you could work on over the years. You're off to a good start. You should maybe think about getting some vocal lessons. And that blew my mind. I had no idea what he was talking about. And for anyone else that may not know, man, he was basically telling me you can go train your voice, learn how to do it better, get a coach, a physical trainer for your voice, as it were. Yeah. And I did that for 2 years, and it was hands down the best advice and best thing I could have done. It taught me a lot about my voice and how to relate that to the guitar and vice versa. Helped my songwriting immensely. It was great.
Boy, that's a cocoon of musical knowledge that I'm guessing one out of 100 people actually do.
Yeah, I would bet on that too, for sure.
Yeah. When you were in college, you were primarily a wide receiver for the football team, weren't you?
That is correct. I did. I played wide receiver and special teams for Ferrum College down there in Southwest Virginia.
Okay.
Beautiful time in life. And like I said, it was still football up until I realized that the NFL wasn't going to come calling. So then I had to pick plan B. And I had a good friend of mine, still a great friend of mine. I was in his wedding. He was in mine. He taught me the first 3 chords, G, C, and D, like everyone else in the country music world. And 3 chords and a 3, and I was off to the races from there. Like I said at the time, I was just planning on learning a couple chords and strumming along around a campfire. I had no intentions of doing this, but here I am 20 years later.
You got the bug.
I got the bug. It's not going anywhere.
Yep. I've got Southern Love, and is it I Stay, It I Stay?
If I Stay.
If I Stay. Let's tee these up and give them a listen. And when we come back, this is Billy Earl on Delmarvalous Americana, WSDL 90.7. You can also find us on YouTube, and you can find us on PAC 14 in Salisbury, and you can find us on ECTV in Easton, Maryland. Let's talk a little bit about the story behind those songs when we come back. Here we go.
I'm headed down to Georgia, wanna find me a southern peach. Walk her along the shoreline, little romance on the beach. Just a country boy looking for a brand new southern start. Well, I've spent some time in the land of lovers. All I got was a broken heart. So country girl, rock my world, take me on the ride of my life. Can't you see that I'm a lost soul? Won't you be my guiding light? Do you think you could blow my mind? Maybe you could start tonight. Oh, I've had others do me wrong. Tell me, can you do it right? Hey, 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 yeah, save my soul tonight. Hey, yeah, hey, yeah, tell me, can you do it right? Southern belle, come to me, take me places I've never been. Oh, I know I'm broken down, won't won't you teach me how to love again? Take my hand, jump with me, let's both just take the fall. You're painting me a picture out forever with that sweet southern drawl. So country girl, rock my world, take me on the ride of my life. Can't you see that I'm a lost soul? Won't you be my guiding light? Do you think you can blow my mind? Maybe you could start tonight. Oh, I've had others do me wrong. Tell me, can you do it right? Hey, 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 yeah, save my soul tonight. Hey, yeah, hey, yeah, tell me, can you do it right? Yeah, country girl, rock my world, take me on the ride of my life. Can't you see that I'm a lost soul? Won't you be my guiding light? Do you think you can blow my mind? Maybe you could start tonight. I've had others do me wrong. Tell me, can you do it right? Won't you prove to me love is real, not just in a fairy tale? It's not something that you get by flipping pennies in a wishing well. It ain't something that you get by flipping pennies in a wishing well. Say goodbye, but that's what I'm used to saying. 'Cause I was always better at leaving than I ever was at staying. And I guess I got it honest, I've got rambling in my bones. Oh, my daddy was a rock and my mama a rolling stone. So if I tell you
Okay, this is Billy Earl, and I've come back with JPA. Tell me about Southern Love. That's a great title. It sounds almost Tennessee Williams-ish.
Thank you. You know, Southern Love has a special place for me because it has many firsts behind it. It was the first song that, as I'm trying to do this whole songwriting thing and testing my songs on people, primarily my father, who I was living with at the time, I'd play him a song or two, and I don't think he meant to be as critical as he was. If he just walked away and didn't say anything, I knew that it wasn't good enough, or he didn't think I was still doing the right thing in his mind. But I'll never forget it. One day I was sitting upstairs and I was trying to learn a song of someone else's, I think maybe a Van Morrison song or something, I can't remember. But I said, you know what, to heck with this. I can't learn this song. I'm not getting the strumming pattern. I'm going to write my own song.
Right.
In about an hour and a half, 2 hours, I wrote Southern Love. And I went out there and grabbed him from the yard. I said, hey, come on, listen to this song, see what you think. And I played it for him. And it was the first time he looked at me and said, you might have something there, boy. And then he walked off. And I was like, all right, I got him. He's a believer.
Yeah, we have similar fathers.
Yeah, I'm sure lots of folks do.
Well, it's very difficult, I think, for a parent to look at their child and see music as a way for them to flourish economically. In fact, I saw a good cartoon the other day where a man is obviously talking to his son, and he's saying, I really, admire what you're doing, going to law school here, but I want you to, have a fallback plan. So I want you to learn how to play the banjo.
Yeah, wouldn't that be nice?
Wouldn't that be nice? Okay, If I Stay, how did that come about?
If I Stay is a song that was inspired by that point in a relationship where you get to with someone and you've just kind of been having fun. You're the honeymoon phase, so to speak. You're not really cared about the future. You're just worried about the good times you're having with each other. And then at some point, somebody, if not both at the same time, starts to catch those feelings, and you got to figure out what's next, and what's next can sometimes scare the heck out of people, and make them go in one direction or the other, and sometimes separate directions. And that's kind of what this song was about, getting to that point in a relationship and asking the questions, okay, this is what's been weighing on my mind. Where do we go from here?
Stay tuned for part 2 of Jacob Paul Allen here on Delmarvalous, Americana. You can see us on PAC 14 in Salisbury. You can also see us on YouTube and WSDL. Don't turn that channel. This has been Delmarvalous Americana here on YouTube, on PAC 14 in Salisbury, and on NPR on WSDL 90.7. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure and go to Delmarvalous Americana House Concerts on Facebook for a schedule of those live music shows here in Salisbury, Maryland. Enjoy, adios, and namaste.